Okay, so hi everyone. It's been a hot minute. So I left YouTube for a little while, a year, possibly two, I'm not sure. I really ought to have checked that before I started filming. So I'm back to tell you where I've been, where I'm going, all of the stuff in between. And before I get into sort of what I actually want to talk about in the video and sort of talk about the future, I want to talk a little bit about the past, i.e. what this channel used to be. I will no longer be making any form of Harry Potter content. I think I've said this before, sort of back when I made a few videos, sort of beginning of the pandemic, where I sort of said I didn't really want to be in that direction anymore. I think now more than ever it's very important to be completely over and clear with my intentions in regards to that. I do not support JK Rowling in any capacity. I think that the way things have gone and the comments she's made and the damage she's done to the trans community is absolutely it's irreversible. I have no words for what's happened with that. Obviously, I'm, as a cis white woman, yes, my voice is not the important one to listen to in these scenarios, but I have been, making a massive effort to listen to trans voices throughout this entire sort of situation. And, I completely, I can't be on here and be talking about something that, yes, like Harry Potter meant so much to us all, and it's has been such a massive part of my life, but ultimately I can't be on here promoting something that is created and benefits massively a woman that has such abhorrent views. So that's where I'm at with that. I'll leave some useful links in the description of this video, and that's that really. Fully support the trans community, and I would never want anyone to come onto this channel and think this wasn't a safe space for them, because I absolutely want it to be, and that goes for literally everyone. I want this to be like a place where anyone can feel comfortable and know that I am, fully supportive. I would never ever want to be creating a space that didn't feel that way. She's no longer Laura's Always Pottering. I'm just me. I'm Laura Mugg, and I'm here to do some things which I'm going to talk about now going forward. So the future, before we get onto the future, we should also still be in the past, talking a little bit about where I've been. So you won't recognize this location at all. I now live in a perfect little flat with my wonderful partner Joe, and we moved out of our mouse house, as some of you may know from the occasional mouse house vlogs. We moved out of there in January. Obviously still best friends with Katie and George. We see them all the time. They just live down the road from us in a different flat, but we felt it was time to sort of move on and have our own space. So that's been really exciting. I don't know if I ever mentioned on here, I think I hadn't been making videos. I now work as a costume dresser on the Tina Turner musical in the West End, which is really cool. I feel like the last time I was on here I was still working front of house, or I'd lost my front of house job because of the pandemic. Yeah, I have a couple of different jobs. I'm a dresser primarily on the Tina Turner musical, and I'm also a live captioner from home, which is really fun. I create basically like captions for live events, which is fantastic because, as many of you know, like accessibility is a massive passion of mine. So to be working in both of those fields, like theatre and accessibility, is really cool. So I'm having to work a lot of jobs to survive here in London. Things are spenny, and I'm also hoping to be able to do my master's degree in acting next year. So that's me sort of personally, professionally, and let's move on to the future of where I see this going. Some of you may have found me on TikTok. Not a phrase I'd ever thought I'd say. I have been making TikToks. When I say some of you, I mean I literally have like 150 followers on TikTok. Like, none of my videos have blown up or gone viral, nothing like that. That is because it's quite niche content. I have become a runner in the literal sense of physically putting on some shoes and going out the door and running. This is as much of a shock to me as it is probably to you guys. I know that sort of I've talked a lot about having a chronic illness on this channel before, and I've sort of documented, I guess, some of the journey of that. And back when I was really struggling and I was making videos when I was in uni, I never ever thought I would be capable of doing anything like running. But I'm thrilled to announce that this year I'll be running the London Marathon. Kind of shocking, am I right? If you've been keeping up with me on Instagram, you'll see that I have run 2 half marathons since I started this running endeavour. I actually started running during lockdown, and it became like a big love of mine of just getting out the house and feeling really strong. I've been going to the gym, not that you can really see, well you can, look at the baby bicep right there. I'm really working on fitness, feeling strong. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I've run 2 half marathons officially, and then I've run the half marathon distance a number of times external of that. Last year I ran the Reading half in October, and I did it in 2 hours and 3, well, it was just under 2 hours 4 minutes. And then this year literally this time last week, oh my god, this time last week, can you see it's a Sunday, 9:40, I would have been walking down to the start line to start the half, and I did it in 1 hour and 58, which, why am I gonna cry? If you watched my TikToks, you'll see the video I posted of me literally just as I crossed the finish line. I was very emotional. As a person with a chronic illness, I have Crohn's disease, I also have arthritis. I was at university studying musical theatre, if you've never been here before, just to give a bit of context. And obviously I was doing a lot of dance, I've been a dancer for a long time, and I really couldn't do that when I was at uni. I was really flaring, there was days where I could barely walk, and so to be in a position now where I could run a sub 2 hour half marathon it's so insane to me. I'm running for Crohn's and Colitis UK, which is a charity that obviously means a lot to me, having Crohn's disease. They help thousands and thousands of people across the UK who suffer with Crohn's or colitis, and I'm running on their team, and we have a huge fundraising goal, so I will put the Just Giving link in the description below, and we'll have up to October to get to the fundraising goal, which is £2,500, which I know is a lot, but the thing has been up 1 day as of filming this video, and we've already got like £160, which is amazing, so that, you know, I think we'll get there. If anyone has any coin to spare, I would love it if you could donate. There's such a fantastic charity really paving the way for further research. I'm really lucky. The last year I've actually gone into remission with my Crohn's. I get my infusions every 8 weeks. I'm actually thinking of doing some like infusion vlogs if people are interested in sort of like the autoimmune disease life, to show you a bit about what I experience every 8 weeks and kind of my life with that and how I cope. I'm in a remissive state at the moment, and that would not be possible without all the amazing research that goes into finding the treatments that can put people in remission. Some people aren't as lucky, and they never find remission because of, you know, their body doesn't respond to the current medications or the current surgeries. And so Crohn's and Colitis UK really help fund the research that will help find further discoveries on how we can make life easier for people living with IBD. If you have any coin to spare, that'd be amazing. If not, if you could just share the page, that would be awesome. That would be so great. Just raise a bit of awareness. Or if you don't want to do any of that, but you are a little bit interested in what Crohn's or colitis is, I'll leave the link to the website down below so you can go and check that out and have a little read and learn about an illness which I'm sure you know other people other than me that will have, because it's so... Did that sentence make sense? Other people than me that will have. Disregard that. I'm sure you know other people who have Crohn's or colitis, even if you're not like aware of that. It's really common. So yeah, I'll be running the London Marathon this year, so not a lot of, but a fair amount of the future content that I'm going to be creating is going to be around marathon training and running. It's an area of the world that really excites me now, and so that's the kind of content I want to be creating, especially since I've been making sort of like, you know, very low quality TikTok videos about that for a little while now. So if you're interested, my TikTok is down below. I also have a new Instagram specifically for running. I made my old Instagram that I used to advertise on here private, just because I'd had an issue last year around, it was literally the day of like the Euros final. I just remember because I was watching the football, but I had an incident on Twitter where some guy managed to like get into all of my, not into all my accounts, but he was going back and stalking and basically like posting like pictures off my personal Facebook and stuff on Twitter, and it all got very weird, so I privated all my sort of main accounts. So I have a new running account which there will be other content on there, but if you want to follow me on Instagram, that's where you're going to find me. And I'm currently don't have a public Twitter, so that's just that little housekeeping social media corner out of the way. As for non-running content, I'm just really excited to get creative again. I want to talk about books, I want to talk about writing, I want to talk about everything, living in London, like life living in London and working in London. I debated, I guess this is going on to kind of a new thing, so that's kind of where the channel's going. The channel is going to running, like lifestyle, living in London, being a person, books, etc. There will be making tea videos. I'm very excited to get back to making those, for those of you that have missed them. I think it's really important to address one of the major reasons that I left the platform as well as all of the sort of Harry Potter related stuff, because I wasn't really sure what to do with the channel when I ditched that, because that was obviously a big part of what I did here, and wanting to no longer be associated with that, I didn't really know what to do. But I also felt compelled to step away, because I think it was sort of around the time that incident happened with the guy finding my pictures and stuff. Like, it was just like pictures of me at school and things. It was just weird, and it was creepy, and I didn't like it. But I really went through I think the pandemic changed us all in a lot of ways, in terms of like what we're comfortable with and how we are socially. But for me, it really accelerated the feeling of not wanting to be perceived by anyone. I was very happy. I have a small circle of friends. I've got my, wonderful, amazing partner Joe, and you know, my work colleagues and stuff, but I felt massively like I didn't really want to be perceived by anyone external of that, like it wasn't going to be good for my mental health. I was always very lucky, like with this channel being quite small, that I never had anything but support from people in the comments, and people were always lovely. There was 1 or 2 occasions where maybe someone random that wasn't part of our like community would maybe comment something mean, but I was always able to kind of deal with that. But seeing how people get torn apart on the internet, like I'm not gonna lie to you, it terrifies me. It absolutely scares the crap out of me. Seeing the way that like people that come online and create, they massively blow up and then suddenly they fall back down because people tear them apart, rightly or wrongly. Like, you know, if people find stuff that's, you know, maybe unsavory or not, it doesn't align with how they're trying to like portray themselves online, I think like cancel culture is a whole thing we could go into, but I won't, because I don't feel like I have the necessary sort of like information to give a well-rounded view on that. Me personally, I feel like people should always be held accountable for their actions, but I do think that we need to really embrace the human capacity for change and think critically about a lot of things. Like, yes, if someone maybe said something 16 years ago that they now don't align with, obviously it doesn't make that thing okay, but also we have to address the fact that they might not be that person anymore. Maybe that's controversial, maybe that's controversial, but I don't know. Obviously if it's like, yeah, yesterday they said something that was really horrendous about, you know, a group of people, and now they're saying, oh, but like it was misinterpreted. No, you know, that person needs to be held accountable for that, obviously. But I'm just saying that we need to exercise some critical thinking, and nuance massively. I think the internet is massively lacking nuance in every capacity. And that terrifies me because, you know, I have a need to over-explain myself at any given moment. And so the idea of putting myself back online, open to criticism, open to people interpreting what I say however they want to, and then discussing that with other people, that's a very scary concept for me. However, I found that by making TikTok videos recently, especially about running, it felt really, really nice to just talk. Again, I didn't realize how much that like making videos had really helped my mental health. Like, I make TikTok videos about all sorts of crap and no one watches them, but it's so beneficial for me to make because like I can talk to my friends, I can talk to my partner, but just having that space to talk, like just a flow, a stream of consciousness, and maybe get responses that kind of understand, is something that's like so special about the internet. And I think that's something that we should harness, like a golden nugget of the internet to harness. And I, believe me, my views on the internet and social media have changed rapidly over the years. Like, I don't see it as this gold amazing thing that I used to. However, there are these still gold amazing things that are part of it. So with that being said, I'm gonna be not sticking to a content schedule because, you know me, I have zero follow through. I will promise the world and never deliver. That's something I've had to address about myself and really work on. I realized, like, I guess over the course of the pandemic and also in my new job and stuff, that I really struggle with sticking on task, and it's really like, I think it's to do with OCD, which is something that I have and something that I struggle with. I don't know if I've particularly discussed that on the channel either. I can't remember, it's been so long. But for me, that kind of manifests its way in lots of different capacities. I really struggle to stick to a thing and do things. Wow, that's really vague. But I'm really trying to get better on that, and I'm working on loads of different strategies to sort of like stay on task and get things done. I've had to get way better at doing that because, you know, I'm working 2 jobs at the moment, but I was working 3. The third one just finished. It was a separate costume job. And so I am, and also fitting in like running training and all of that, and being a person has been really busy, and I've had to really learn to stick to the task in hand. So I'm not going to be on a recording schedule or a filming schedule or anything like that, but I'm hoping to upload a little more regularly, and kind of, yeah, get back to making some videos that I enjoy making. If that's at all interesting to any of you, let me know how your years have been in the comments. Like, how are people doing? Like, what have people been up to? I'm really curious to know. I feel like as an audience we've all grown and changed over the last couple of years, and I'll be really fascinated to see where you are now. And also totally understand if my content is not for you anymore. If you're saying, you know what, Laura, actually I came here for this thing and now that doesn't sound like something you're going to be doing, so I'm going to dip out. Totally chill. I do not mind whatsoever. Absolutely go for it. I think that's everything I kind of wanted to say and touch on. Really excited to get back into making videos, and let me know what you'd like to see. If you have any suggestions of things I didn't talk about here, or if you have any suggestions for making tea videos, more than happy to jump back into that. So let me know. Thanks guys, see you later.